welcome back to Hollywood Smoke in Santa Monica. I'm Steve Kim, joined by Doug Fischer and Mike Baca, another installment of 10 Count. Guys, December 9th, multiple shows going head-to-head on HBO from the theater at Madison Square Garden. It is the purest delight. Vasyl Lomachenko takes on Guillermo Rigondeaux, while it's Mexican style at the Mandalay Bay on HBO. Orlando Salido takes on Mickey Roman. Mike, I'll start with you. If you could only watch or attend one card, which one would it be out of these two?
It's Lomachenko.
You're such a purist. You're such a purist.
When else are you going to get a matchup like this again, Steve?
Sounds good on paper.
Roman versus Salido. I mean, you get a matchup like that every weekend.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
You got to find it.
You're watching too much.
I'm a bloodthirsty ghoul.
You got to find it.
So for me, it's Siri versus Mikey. I mean, they're going to bring. Hey, listen, that's going to be a war. There's no way it's not going. And here's the I don't know who wins it. Well, I think Roman might be very live in this all-Mexican showdown.
So you want to see the chess match, though. You are intrigued.
I do, but I've always been intrigued with Guillermo Rigondeaux.
Oh,
and I know it's very indifferent to you guys. Yeah, I know.
What is it about him, though? Is it just the amateur credentials, or you actually like that style?
No, because I never watched his amateur fights or any of that.
Too bad, because he was actually entertaining in 2000. Steve was at those Olympic Games.
I was there.
And I remember this. I think you were doing research for Teddy Atlas, who was
Marv Albert,
who were the commentators. And I remember when you got back, was that Australia?
Yes, it was, Sydney.
Yeah, when you got back from Sydney, you said, there's this little Cuban guy. He was like, if I was in the boxing business, I would have smuggled him out in my suitcase. Yeah. Guillermo Rigondeaux at 119 pounds.
Here's the thing.
But that was 2000.
Mike, he was 19 back then. And I have a theory about a lot of these Eastern Europeans and Cubans. You can stick them in for one Olympics, but if they go through that second Olympic cycle, that's what they become. They're career amateurs. And at age 19, in an Olympic Games with Jermaine Taylor, Jeff Lacey, Rocky Juarez, Miguel Cotto, Muhammad Abdullayev, Samuel Peter, that was a pretty good Olympic. I thought by far he was, I thought by far, Ponce de Leon, I thought by far he was the most talented guy. I still think he's very talented, but he's never evolved his style. Question though, doesn't it concern you though? Rigondeaux is moving up 2 full weight classes though.
I would have much rather had this fight at 126 pounds. But Rigondeaux signed up for this. This is the fight he wanted. He said, there's no problem with the weight. He's going to go into it. Fine. He's going to, I mean, he really has nowhere else to go.
No, he doesn't.
To be honest. And that's kind of his fault.
But you know what, guys? The style of fight, since they're not going to be going toe-to-toe, maybe the size doesn't matter that much, though.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, one thing about Rigondeaux, he's dangerous with his counterpunch. With that left hand, his timing is so good. He's so damn accurate. He doesn't just know. It's not just that he can punch. He knows when to punch and where to land that punch. And the thing about Lomachenko is he's not an idiot. He's smart. I mean, he had that incredible amateur career for a reason. He's not going to be like Nonito Donaire and box out of character. Like Donaire tried to pressure him. He wasn't on his toes. And Donaire didn't have the mental confidence and focus that Lomachenko has. And he doesn't have the foundation, the boxing foundation that Lomachenko has. So Lomachenko, I think, the way to beat a counterpuncher is not to walk into that strength. It's to move on. It's to use your legs.
But guys,
a counterpuncher with the stick and move guy, it's kind of like, what happens?
Let's look at this dynamic. There's two things. Lomachenko is now considered no worse than the second best fighter in the world, pound for pound, right? He's the guy fighting he's fighting at his weight, 130.
Right.
He's the one getting the promotional push, right?
He's also the guy. This is his 3rd fight this year.
Right. But with that said, isn't all the pressure then on Lomachenko to win, and he's the guy that has to kind of chase Rigondeaux to make the fight?
That's true.
All the pressure's on him.
And he's been feeling that, and he is a boxer by nature, and he has been feeling that pressure where, okay, if I'm going to get people to follow me, to anticipate my fights, I got to be like Golovkin. I got to get some knockouts here. I got to be fan friendly. His management has drilled that into him. And he tried his best against his last opponent, Miguel Mariaga.
Yeah.
And he was a little bit sloppy at times because of that. He can't afford to do that, though, against Rigondeaux. I think he understands that. But if he understands that and still says, what the hell, I'm going to take some risks, kudos to him. And then maybe we will see a pretty good fight.
Now, did you enjoy that Donaire-Rigondeaux fight?
No, I didn't.
You didn't enjoy it?
It wasn't. I didn't think it was horrible.
Don't you think it was intense, though? Like,
yes, there was an intensity to it.
It's one of those fights that while it's happening, you are kind of into it.
Yeah, sure. I'm not saying it's rewatchable.
And then as soon as it's over, you erase it from the DVR, which is fine.
That's what I did.
Right. Roman Salido, Mexican style. I just cannot wait. I mean,
Mexican
listen,
style.
I'm a big Salido guy. I am the Asian driver of that bandwagon. But I think he's very old. He's been hitting the canvas a lot, even against journeymen in tune-up fights. Mickey Roman, if he gets right on his chest, we're going to see how much Salido wants to do this anymore, Doug.
Mickey Roman was, to me, I thought he was winning against Takashi Miura. And Miura just ground him down with that body attack and just being the bigger guy, the stronger, harder puncher. But Roman is that kind of guy to push an aging veteran off the cliff.
Yeah.
And let's remember this about Salido. I believe this man turned pro in 1995.
Yeah.
He got a lot of fights, been in a lot of wars, has struggled with weight for many years.
Yeah.
All of that takes a toll on the body. And I know he's not as dialed in when he fights these journeymen who drop him as he is when he fights on the world-class level, like we saw against Francisco Vargas. And that was the fight of the year last year, and that was awesome. I don't know if he has another effort in him like that.
Yeah.
But I do know he'll try. Whatever he's got, he's going to give it to us.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to be at the Mandalay Bay.
So will I, where the Flying Fishers play, our favorite hotel. All right, well, that's it for this segment of 10 Count. On behalf of Doug Fischer and Michael Baca, this is Steve Kim saying goodbye, everybody.